The following podcast is set for at least 1 hour. Introducing your hosts from Fort Worth, Texas, at a total combined weight of 430 pounds, Kevin and Chris Newell. The Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Hey, wrestling fans, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Well, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Chris.
And we are the Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast, here to give you another recap for NXT. I hope everybody enjoyed NXT thus far. So far, it was a pretty okay night. What do you think? Yeah? What does that mean? Yeah?
I know what his favorite part was, though.
Oh, you mean of the announcements of some matches coming up next week?
It might relate to that.
Yeah, okay.
It might be on a similar note.
Uh-huh. If you say so. All right, who we got live in the chat right now? On the Twitch chat, we got DJ the Juggalo. What's going on there? I'm pretty sure you heard about Sabu over the weekend. We did go in depth with him last week, Juggalo, about him. Not last week, last night. Sorry. It's been one of those days for me. Okay, I always have one of those days at work. He responds back with saying, "I'm blocking y'all if y'all do CCR quotes."
We won't quote them. No.
We won't push it, not tonight. I'm looking at you because I'm thinking you're gonna do it. Don't push the man, okay? Don't push the man.
We won't do it.
I'm just saying.
We'll get our cat to know. Cats can't talk.
Here, I'm gonna do something here.
Hmm. Well, the thing is, you still gotta put it back for the outro thing. So
I'll always move it back before we end the show. He's over here ridiculing me about the moving the chats over and everything. All right,
flop.
There we go.
The cat flopped.
All right, okay, all done with that. All right, everybody. So let me get this all set up right here. All right. Well, Chris is here to go over everything that happened with NXT tonight. Chris, are you ready?
I'm ready.
No, I'm serious. Are you ready? You're over there messing with the cat.
Oh, that's what you meant. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. So here with the recap of NXT is Chris. So, Chris, take it away.
Imagine if I immediately started off with a quote. Oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. No.
Imagine if you started off with what?
A quote. I already said I'm not, but yeah. Alright, so I started off with a promo by Miles Bourne, or with Miles Bourne and his faction in QCC, No Quarter Catch Crew. Basically talking about how he wanted to be judged by his abilities and not his disabilities. Which, I mean, I feel like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that.
We got Chicago 33, better known as Cubano. Welcome in the Twitch chat. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry, just had to give props to people that are showing up for our show, showing their support.
He said, and then right before you had Ego Ethan Page come out, he said that he might be hard of hearing, but he hears. I really could have turned that into a CCR quote.
Yeah.
I just realized that. But he will hear that he is the new champ, basically, something like that. There's a cat over here. What's up?
What's going on, Cubano?
And when Ego came out, he basically just talked about how the Battle Royal was a fluke. He mocked Bourne.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't. I don't think he was making fun of his affliction, of being partially deaf. Yeah, I do. But I wasn't aiming for a John Moxley hairstyle. I was just aiming for I give up on my hairline receding and falling out, so I'm just shaving it and keeping the hair on my face.
Getting rid of it before it can go away fully.
Exactly. Just
I win.
cut it off at the pass, Literally, cut it off, at the pass.
Yeah.
I'm now busting out with the dad joke, so hey.
But you had him challenging Miles Bourne to put his number one contendership on the line in a match. He accepted, and Ava ended up making that match for later on tonight, and it was getting close to the main event. It was in the second hour.
Okay.
So then you had, and she said they couldn't do that right then because Charlie had something to do, and that was his match with Oba.
With the ruler.
Yeah.
Bam Bam Bigelow. Yeah.
Charlie lost that match.
Well, of course. I mean, he's the
Pinfall.
NXT champ.
Well, that and it's Oba versus Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh wait, the cat gone. Alright, we're just gonna, I guess, stick with notes now because cat left.
You got done getting distracted?
Yeah. Distract these.
We got Cubano saying, can't wait to the World Collide coming. I can't either, to be honest. To see the likes of AAA wrestling.
AAA teaming up with Triple H.
And now you're making the dad jokes. No. AAA wrestling, some of the AAA wrestling roster coming in and facing some NXT people. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
WWE people too.
In a way.
Not just NXT,
But they're also focusing. It's on the same weekend that it's on the same weekend that Money in the Bank is going to be happening.
Okay, that explains why they can't do that then.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then you had something that I was doing something at the time, but you said that something happened between Thea Hale, Petrovic, and Paxley.
Yeah, Paxley. Thea Hale and Petrovic, they were talking and everything, and they were bonding and everything, being friends. And all of a sudden, here comes Tatum Paxley over here, showing that she's been very distraught since seeing as how Gigi and Shotzi have been released from WWE. So she doesn't have a team. She doesn't have any friends. She's all by herself, and she's all upset. And, so later on it became a match between her and Thea Hale.
Let's see. Then you had, after that, Tony D'Angelo versus Wesley, with his guys at ringside. Match ended with Wesley pinning Tony D'Angelo, and then you had Stax on the Titantron things talking about how he's going to be paying Rizzo a visit.
Oh, at the safe house.
Yeah. And you would later on in the show have... what I did was, instead of going through and counting what time when that part happened, I just kind of put it all in one, kind of experimenting with the notes there.
Okay.
So later on in the show, it showed that he was kind of rushing to the safe house, and then when he got there, he ended up fighting Stax, and Stax said that he wants to end the D'Angelo family.
Okay. Tony left the match, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
What else happened?
Let's see. Is that where that happened?
I think the cat's attacking the green screen.
Yeah, check or
Well, I'm not hearing any ripping or tearing, so I think we're good.
Should be fine. Let's see. Although,
What's wrong?
that was still later, wasn't it? Yeah, that was like.
I haven't put it up there yet.
Okay, so next you had promos with Stephanie Vakir in the ring talking about Jordan Grace when Fatal Influence comes out. Basically messing around there.
That was like another RKO, and Triple H goes to RKO's house. Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
What happened at that one?
It was a promo for WrestleMania 25. Triple H was going to take on Randy Orton, and Randy Orton and his wife were at their house, and Triple H just breaks into the house and just throws Randy Orton out of the front window and starts beating him. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it when I watched it.
It also looked like there might have been a little bit of infighting with Fatal Influence. Like,
How so?
one of them was trying to skip to the point and correct the other on what the point was, and it seemed like there was something going on there.
Oh, interesting.
But eventually you had Jordan Grace come out and say that she will be beating Stephanie Vakir this time for the title.
Okay.
And then it looked like you had Undertaker and Bully Ray talking to two women from LFG about how they will be competing for a chance to join NXT.
Oh.
And then you had a good portion of the NXT women's, I guess, roster come out. You had Nikita Lyons, Izzy Dame, the Meta Girls, basically warning them that's definitely one of the cast. I think it ran.
Yeah.
Yeah, warning them about that. Then you had that. Then after that, you had the Miles Bourne and Ego Page match. #1 contendership on the line.
Ow. Go ahead.
Match ended with Miles getting the pin on Page successfully. Then after that, you had this Twitter, formerly X, video on that Shawn Legacy put out.
Okay.
Ended up hitting the wrong button there. Lost my spot too. But he put out in that little Twitter video basically an open invitation for a match with. You're gonna like this next part.
So this is the thing they announced earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You like Stephanie's move? Okay. What happened to Wyatt 6? Bo Dallas injured, will be back soon. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I know we've
Hopefully
made reports on it in the past, in past episodes. So anyway, go ahead.
Let's see. So then you had, after that video played, it cut to the locker room area where you had Javon Evans watching that video, and Adonis saying that he would beat both anytime or whatever, and Ricky saying that he would love to see that match, and that he would see Ava about getting it made, and whoever wins could potentially face him for the title after the next pay-per-view. I forget what the next pay-per-view was called.
The upcoming one, Battleground.
That's what it was, yeah.
Bo Dallas, not a good Uncle Howdy, basically. He'll be back. I have faith.
Yep. Yeah. Then that was the end of that promo, and I wasn't super sure about that because I was like, so they're gonna face each other and it'd be a triple threat or something, and they ended up clarifying later on, as NXT was going off, that's gonna be a triple threat.
Okay.
So it looks like next week's going to be a good week for NXT. No. Dad's already tired, and that next week's NXT hasn't even started yet.
I know.
And then you had a match between Thea Hale and Tatum Paxley, the thing from earlier. Match ended in DQ. So technically, Thea Hale won that one. It was the whole raking of the eyes type.
Yeah, Tatum Paxley was about to shove her thumb right in her eye.
Yep, that's what it was. Not fun.
She means business.
Then after that, you had the contract signing between Joe and Trick. Contract signing for Battleground.
Yeah, for the TNA title. And didn't they make an announcement that next week they're going to have a Joe Hendry concert, and Trick Williams is going to perform a rap song?
Yeah.
So it's a battle of the musicians, battle of the bands kind of
They're going to
thing?
do a rap battle, but only one of them is rapping.
Oh, good God, help us.
I didn't get specifically what it was, but that's funny.
Oh, God.
He's right. You do need a baked potato. With
I
that
am
show.
full from dinner earlier, so I'm good. Thank you, though.
Come to think of it, we could probably do that for next Tuesday. Just kind of,
Just read.
yeah. All right, so
Baked potato.
baked potatoes help. It's like a giant fry.
You just read.
But you had Trick Williams saying that he's bigger than TNA and NXT. And then you had Joe saying something about how this is going to be the most important match of Trick's career. And that when he also said something about how Trick's 15 minutes or 50 minutes, one of the two. Wasn't really sure about it.
15 minutes of fame?
Yeah.
Okay, 15.
It sounded like it could have been 15 or 50.
It's the accent. It can throw you off. I understand.
Yeah. But that's going to be expiring. And we're going to be there to watch.
Yeah.
We're going to have to. Then you had Josh Briggs backstage, I guess, kind of venting to Hank and Tank about his teammate leaving.
Yeah.
You eventually had Spears come in and start messing with Briggs. Then it seemed like Briggs got it was suggested during that promo, at least the way I read into it, that he could be hinting at a match with Spears next week.
I could see that happening.
The Chase U guys talked. I didn't get their names. I just got the
Who?
the two new guys for Chase U.
Oh, I forgot their names too, but yeah, they're going to make their debut next week.
Against OTM.
Yeah, returning OTM.
Andre Chase did not like that.
No, they had to censor.
A right to censor.
Yep,
Anyway.
yeah.
He's going to, at some point. Then after that, you had the main event, which was Fatal Influence against Jordan Grace and Stephanie Vakir. Match ended when Jordan Grace pinned JC Jane. And then after that, you cut to like backstage or outside. It was that general area
Okay.
where you had Ethan Page attacking Ricky Saints. See what comes of that.
Okay.
Get to the table.
Get the table. Yeah.
Table's gone. It disappeared. The secret is the cat ate it.
Okay.
I watched them both eat the table.
All right. So that was it for NXT. Match of the night.
The last one.
The main event. I'd have to say so too.
Meow ate it. Okay. It was either that or the dog.
Oh, I thought you were about to talk about the match. So the main event, the tag match, being the match of the night. So that's
Alright,
second match of the night added. Last night it was.
let me pull it up.
Chris is pulling it up right now.
It was Finn Balor and AJ Styles for yesterday.
Okay. And then Chris, explain. Go ahead and talk with them real quick about the whole thing about voting.
Alright, so we usually do the voting in, I say usually, that's like the only place we do the voting, is in the Discord server.
And if you want access to the Discord server,
The link should be on screen somewhere. Oh, never mind, it's right there.
it's right there.
We also have like other channels for other things. If you want to suggest something for us to talk about on the show, or like something else you'd like to see on the server or something like that.
Being asked.
XWF? Or is there an actual promotion called IWF?
I think he was referring to our promotion. Hang on, we're answering questions real quick, everybody, from Cubano on our Twitch chat. What about Cena giving R-Truth the AA through the table? I mean, it could start as Cena he was trying to be peaceful, and then all of a sudden R-Truth just reigniting him, I guess.
You could say he was trying to play Peacemaker.
Yeah.
The stretch and
Yeah, that was a stretch. To the IWF, seeing your new merch shirts. Yes, we have merch. We'll get to that in a second. But yes, if you just if you're new and you're not joined our Discord, it is right there. You go ahead and type that in, follow it. We'd love to get your votes and feedback on Match of the Week and Match of the Night. Now, with that being said, let me go ahead. We're going to get into, as soon as I can find it, where did it go? There it is. I'm going to go ahead and get into some cross-promo news. So a lot I was getting notifications and notifications and notifications on things that were going on in the world of the professional wrestling. A possible date for the 2025 WWE draft has come out.
Wait, what? He said Kevin versus Chris strap match.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It
It would be started over the whole baked potato ketchup thing.
Yeah.
Or because I ended up making too many jokes about multi-man matches.
Way too many jokes.
I'll let you cover the news now.
Yeah, please do. I'm about to chunk this phone at you. Yes, definitely Sabu. We went over Sabu last night. Went over his career. Some of that is actually in the news here, too. But first, a possible date for the WWE 2025 draft had been revealed. Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Radio was suggesting that the draft, it could happen either later this month or no, he's saying it could happen later this month during Memorial Day weekend. But he did speak about Roxanne and Julia, saying they are still definitely NXT on the NXT roster, but they also have shown up on WWE. Saying, quote, Roxanne has been a regular on the main roster since Royal Rumble. She should be petitioning for main roster back pay. She's been here so often. Very likely at the end of this month when they're doing that series of dates in Tampa, it's very likely there might be a draft on that weekend or that week. So we could be seeing the draft coming in pretty soon. So next, it was brought up about Sabu.
He
GCW.
brought it up again too.
Yeah. GCW owner. What?
Talking about a barbed wire match.
Oh, I think I sent that one to you.
I think, yeah.
Uh,
Was it? I don't think it was McFoley though. I think it was a different guy.
at one point, he had a match with Terry Funk.
I think that's who it was against.
Anyway, the GCW owner, Brett Lauderdale, has completely denied drugging Sabu before his final match.
That probably means they're going to fire that other guy.
Yeah, he, and if I'm to recap, yesterday, Joey Janela had been under scrutiny and under fire by fans on social media about saying it was his fault that Sabu died and all this other stuff.
He wouldn't do that live, would he?
I could. So, if we can recall the story I went over last night about it. Well, actually, I think I read that to you last night. Joey Janela had been under scrutiny. Under a certain fan he had a back and forth with a fan on Twitter, talking about, it's your fault that, Sabu drugged himself just to get through the match and everything. So he fired back. He fired back saying, "quote, we didn't give him kratom. His team did. It's also not illegal, and 85% of professional wrestlers do it, especially the ones on TV. So F you. Sabu was a grown man. He did what he had to do to get out there. I took care of him to the best of my ability. I didn't want what happened halfway through would happen. I didn't think what happened
halfway through.
Sometime during the match, I guess, Sabu probably got injured or something.
Move.
Mother's Day was pretty good. So according to Fightful Select, the promoter of GCW today, Brett Lauderdale, has come out and no, it's not that. It's something to get their body kind of going, and it's not illegal drugs. But Brett Lauderdale had come out and said that he has confronted Joey Janela about his comments on social media, and it was during an interview as well of things that he had said. It's drawn, and saying that it's drawn heavy backlash, and no pun intended, because backlash just recently happened. But Lauderdale said this, quote, we're told that GCW was frustrated, embarrassed, and actually that's sorry. It was Fightful Select that was saying this. We were told that GCW was frustrated, embarrassed, and humiliated by the interview itself. Brett Lauderdale did speak to Joey Janela about the interview and situation, but we're not sure what came of it. Now, Brett Lauderdale has came out to speak on that, about especially the claims of GCW drugging Sabu before the match, saying and going answering these claims of them being irresponsible, disingenuous, hurtful, and false. He says he's devastated, and saying, quote, when I received word of Sabu's passing on Sunday, I was devastated. I have known Sabu personally for almost 20 years and been in constant contact with him for the last 2 years. We were friends, and I cared about him and had deep respect for him. In the months leading up to the match, what's up?
It looks like there's moving pictures and stuff in there.
Yeah.
Some of them, I'm gonna guess that some of them are from Know Your Wrestling streams.
I think so.
At least the Joe Hendry run. Is that safe to assume?
That's safe to assume, yes. Made me lose my place here. Saying, okay, so Lauderdale saying, in the months leading up to the match, I told him repeatedly how much I believed in him and how excited I was for him to finally get his flowers and be celebrated the way he had earned and deserved. He was both nervous and excited, but determined to give the fans one last extreme performance to remember. Then goes on to say about the allegations and everything. Quote, any suggestion that I or GCW or Joey Janela forced him to do this match, supplied him with substances, or somehow caused his death is irresponsible, disingenuous, yeah, hurtful, and false. I would never knowingly put someone who I believe was a danger to themselves or others in the ring, and my track record shows this to be true. I have pulled people in a public and painful manner from big matches before, sometimes literal moments before a match was to begin, and I would do it again if I had to. Then he talked about after that match that he spoke with Sabu at WrestleCon, saying, quote, I spoke to Sabu moments before the match, and he was Sabu. He was the same Sabu I had encountered in years past when I participated in his matches as a referee and later as a promoter. The truth is, Sabu lived a hard life both in and outside the ring. He was fearless and reckless, qualities that both endeared him to millions and made us worry about him at the same time.
Again, the only wrestler I've seen get hit with a table.
Of course.
Not the table was hit with him or he was thrown at the table or through the table. I don't know.
He may have been a little bit. Decades of extreme took its toll, and no matter what we want to believe, nobody is immortal. While Sabu will live forever, Terry Brunk will not, and unfortunately, his time has finally come. It's sad, and my heart goes out to his friends and family, and I join them in mourning his loss. I feel lucky and blessed to have known him, and I am proud to have been able to host his final match. Sabu was a legend, and his impact in our world was immeasurable. He will never be forgotten. So basically, these fans are just lashing out at these promoters and wrestlers and everything. It's like, we don't have all the... What's that?
It's not really helping.
It's not, because we don't have all the facts on the cause of death. It has not been released yet. So why start going on social media and being a keyboard warrior and attacking people that may not have anything to do with it? I think he did have a match on AEW. Jake the Snake Roberts underwent heart surgery today. Heart ablation surgery, which is pretty, from what the doctors have said, pretty standard and routine. His wife went to Instagram to post what's been going on, saying, quote, Jake's going in for heart ablation surgery this morning, calling all prayers, warriors, good vibes, and well wishes are welcomed and appreciated. From what I've heard and read recently, the surgery was a success. There was no complications, and we just wish Jake the Snake Roberts a speedy recovery. All right, on to matters of AEW. Kenny Omega blasts Modern Wrestling, says 90s wrestlers would have beaten up Logan Paul.
I feel like most wrestlers would want to beat up Logan Paul.
No matter what decade.
Yeah.
Kenny was speaking to Adi Shankar, and he criticized basically the current state that professional wrestling is in right now, saying, and of course talking about Logan Paul, saying, quote, "It's remarkably easier nowadays. It's easier because like a guy like Logan Paul would have been beaten up in like 92. They would have beaten him up in the locker room like, what are you doing here? You know what I mean? It was a closed ecosystem back then. I don't know if I've ever said this publicly or not, but I think we're headed down a path where a couple of WrestleManias from now, the main event's going to be Logan Paul versus Mr. Beast. And
that could be one.
It's like, what's the wrestling acumen? How many miles have they actually put into this, But does it even matter anymore? Basically, Kenny Omega saying, we're going to be seeing these social media stars and everything just, get into wrestling. I mean, we've saw his friends start getting involved, like KSI.
That, and it's like, the main thing those guys are known for nowadays is just controversy. Like, especially Logan Paul.
His brother and his family, basically.
Yeah. That is a funny idea, though.
Oh, yeah. I'd support him.
I think we could win. We would definitely...
Match wouldn't last very long.
We would definitely been trying to, if you catch my drift.
Yeah. Okay, and to close out the news here, we're going to WWE. TKO president Mark Shapiro warned WWE about revealing too much in Netflix series WWE Unreal. So this was during a JP Morgan conference.
TNA guy doesn't like it either.
Well. Anyway, so Mark Shapiro went to a JP Morgan conference today, and he had talked about things about WWE, and one of them, of course, being the Netflix series that's coming out, saying, quote, "I always tell Nick Khan, careful, let's not give away the Coca-Cola recipe here, but having said that, I think just a little sneak behind into the writer's room is evidenced by SNL, something all fans and viewers want to see." So fans and viewers, they do want to see what goes into doing a match, what goes into doing a production, what goes into building a story up to a pay-per-view or PLE. Then he talked about premium live events and PLEs, and he was basically talking about how these PLEs are going to be moving towards shorter PLEs with fewer matches. A format seen in events throughout. I mean, take a look at Backlash. Backlash lasted, 2.5 hours? Pretty much the whole entire duration of Monday Night Raw. I think Netflix is going to take out the Raw show by this year. Why ruin it for the fans? Some fans, they just want to know.
Like, the behind-the-scenes show, or take Netflix, or take Raw off of Netflix? What do you mean?
Let's see.
Because can you imagine if that could be kind of bad?
I mean, if you're going to be...
Depending on how long they signed for. Because if they end up getting stuck in, like, contract limbo where... Yeah, that could potentially be a big oof.
Handsome Grim joining us on the YouTube chat, as well as Junior.
And then, like, some letters.
Then he called us linguinis.
Hey, I don't know.
I don't know.
I just got, hey.
See, I also think the one who dethrones Cena is Punk. He is the Joker to his Batman. Pretty much.
Yep.
Going back to this now, the goal, he said, quote, I believe it's a quote here, the goal is to keep each event focused on key storylines, and marquee talent, preventing shows from feeling bloated or overdrawn out. It's believed that upcoming events like Money in the Bank, Crown Jewel,
They want to avoid
will follow the same format.
They want to avoid the AEW syndrome of that. Just
Yeah,
cram
but
80
if you shorten it, then you're going to also go back taking WrestleMania and SummerSlam from 2 nights to 1.
Oh, wait, Boy Wonder, who was that?
Robin.
But that's Robin.
Yeah.
Huh.
Also, a thing that Mark Shapiro had mentioned, he's going to be. They could be scaling back house shows, meaning less live shows that are non-televised.
That makes sense. But yeah, because AEW will just cram as many matches as they can into, like, what was it, 4 hours, 5 hours?
Yeah. It says house shows have already been reduced significantly this year, so there's less live shows, and they're prioritizing major market appearances, international tours, and he even
Quality
suggested
over quantity.
exactly. He suggested that they could be looking at definitely limiting house shows even more, and the reason being, it's continuing to emphasize high-impact storylines, driven PLEs, fewer matches, and things of that nature.
I'm going to have to agree with Grim on that one. He said that AEW has no creative plans. They just throw random matches, and they overuse the Death Riders.
Very much so. House shows are better and cheaper seats. That is true. That is true. Shapiro even said that TKO isn't afraid to work with multiple partners. And I believe they were talking about see. He also repeated that WWE's strategy is centered on delivering fewer but higher quality events each year. So they may be reducing the amount of PLEs that are going to be happening each month. See, Handsome Grim saying they must build new stars, like putting the AEW title on Darby, Guevara, or Cassidy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that would be good in theory, but
Austin theory, no.
no.
That is funny.
But that's pretty much all the news stories. It's a slow-going news day. Other news, I can tell you they were talking about Liv Morgan filming and all that stuff. See if there's anything that has come up since then. Just going over some stuff on NXT we already went over.
Stuff happened. Let's see. Who else do we think? What else are we thinking about AEW? I say as I remember some of the stuff that has been said by us and other sources.
There is a belief that Vince McMahon will receive a WWE Hall of Fame induction.
Just rumors, right? Just a rumor.
This is a belief that it may happen.
Among who?
I don't know.
Among us. Among us? Says?
But Mark Shapiro, and I just saw this. We were just talking about him, talking about how they're boosting WWE ticket prices to maximize live event profits.
They're doing what?
They're boosting ticket prices.
So it's higher ticket prices?
That's why these ticket prices are so stupid and ridiculously high. You have to freaking sell your vehicle and not make any car payments in order to just go to a wrestling event.
We would walk there, but it costs an arm and a leg, so...
Pretty much. Handsome Grim saying in WWE, Fatu is a greater star than Sikoa.
I agree with that.
He has surpassed Sikoa because Sikoa has not carried a main roster title.
Well, not just that, but remember when Fatu first got there? We were very quickly talking about all these different matches he could be in.
Yeah.
And we're getting some of them now.
Yeah, we are. I'm actually quite happy about that.
Yeah.
So bit of a slow day today in wrestling compared to last night, because last night we got to catch up from the weekend. Of course, there's the death of Sabu the day before yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of things going on there. A lot of people not too thrilled about Raw. It was only 4 matches long. They're just building up storylines for Money in the Bank and, of course, upcoming SummerSlam and I believe the event in Perth, Crown Jewel. I don't know if that's before or after
something
SummerSlam.
About time zones.
Oh, yeah, Dominic not understanding what time zones are. Yeah, it was a far busier day yesterday because we were on for almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
So.
How long have we been on for this time?
Oh, been on for about 50 minutes, give or take.
Oof. Well, I guess we can spend the last 10 minutes just, talking with the chat.
We can, most definitely. We like talking with the chat. I mean, there's so much to look forward to as well. I mean, Dynamite, we've got that cage match between Samoa Joe and Joe Moxley tomorrow night. What else? That's the only thing that's really stood out to me for tomorrow night on Dynamite.
I thought they were gonna do that at a pay-per-view.
No, it's a special event.
They can't. I had a joke, but it's mean.
That's AEW.
I had a joke, but it was mean.
Excuse me. Like I said,
Also in
busy.
And then you had Grim saying, also in TNA, since Scott D'Amore left, it became boring. I agree with you there, Grim. He said that he hopes Mox drops the title to Joe, and Joe deserves it.
I think so. It couldn't hurt to give Joe the title because we haven't seen Moxley with the title.
Yeah, we literally have not seen that title since Mox got a hold of it, so.
Yeah.
Then, again, because part of that is he's not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
Other than hiding it in a briefcase or suitcase or whatever it's called.
Yeah, they could be redesigning it.
They lost the rights to the title.
I don't know. They could be just redesigning it. Who knows? Who's to say for certain? But I do wholeheartedly agree. I think Joe should get the title now. But he's already a trios tag champion. And adding another title on would be, I don't know, it'd be interesting. He's already got a faction.
Hogan.
When Hogan overlooked TNA, it destroyed them. Destroyed from the inside. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, firsthand in an example of that, Bret Hart coming back to.
And then when
he and Bischoff left, became a minor promoter. Yeah. So I watched TNA. I was watching TNA, and it was about around the time Bret Hart came back to WWE, and it's been like 10 years or so, or 20 years.
How many sides did the ring have then?
It only had the 4. They got rid of the octagon and everything.
His favorite TNA ring was the octagon.
It became WCW 2.0. Yeah, pretty much. No, but when Bret Hart came back to WWE,
And now they're trying to form a WCW 3.0 or 4.0.
Whatever,
I can't
0.0.
really tell.
But with when Bret, and I'm trying to get to this point,
Sorry.
when Bret Hart came back to WWE, TNA had this thing where Kurt Angle was trying to battle for the TNA championship, and he got screwed out of it, just like the Montreal screw job, exactly like it. And Kurt Angle spit at Hulk Hogan and said, "I'm not going to get screwed over like Bret did."
Oof.
You know, and I think they did that intentionally because it was like, okay, Bret Hart's coming back to WWE. Let's reenact the Montreal screw job. And it's like, okay, you guys are just that's sad. You have nothing else to do original for this main event, so you want to do the reenact the Montreal screw job? Okay.
It seems again, not throwing anything weird bad at AEW, but that seems like something AEW would do.
That is true. That is very true. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, as I just want to see how they get to this whole thing to Double or Nothing, because I don't think they've even announced any matches yet for Double or Nothing. If they have, I could be wrong, but
That's a real head scratcher.
making me want to scratch my own head, yeah. But I mean, let me look. Because I honestly think they have not announced any.
What's the story? We like stories.
Well, you talk with the people. Bret hated Hogan. Oh yeah, he still does to this day. You ever see the WrestleMania 9 documentary? Yeah. Bret Hart has got a chip on his shoulder for Hulk Hogan.
What did Hogan do?
Hang on. Trying to see. Okay, so they've got two. Okay, they've got two matches. They got two matches for Double or Nothing, and it just deals with the Owen Hart tournament. You got Will Ospreay taking on Hangman Adam Page for the. Well, hang on, let me switch, because we're no longer talking about news. But you got Hangman Adam Page taking on Will Ospreay for the finals of the Owen Hart tournament. Then you've got Mercedes Moné Headache Lady taking on Jamie Hayter, which is AEW's Timu Becky Lynch. I said it. I don't care what kind of backlash I get. That's what
Backlash.
Jamie. I mean, look at Jamie Hayter. Does she not remind you of Becky Lynch?
A little bit.
See? In '93, initially, Bret would dethrone Hogan for the title at Survivor Series. Initially, he would. But to tell you about that story, I thought I told you this story about WrestleMania 9 at Caesar's Palace. Bret Hart loses the belt to Yokozuna. And it was because Mr. Fuji threw salt at Bret and it got in his eyes. And he ended up losing the match.
Where they just shoehorned Hogan in and he lost the title to Hogan or something like that?
Yeah. And
Okay, I remember now.
And they got Hogan into the pay-per-view because ticket sales weren't going as well. I mean, they were selling, but they weren't selling like they thought. And so they bring Hogan into it. Handsome Grim saying, but when Hogan heard it from Vince, he disapproved and changed the match because Hogan admitted he didn't want to put over Bret. And that's true.
That's a load of crap.
Well, because essentially Hogan had final say who he wanted to put over or who he didn't.
Well, I think he should have done it. Especially if it's better than just screwing him like that, you know.
But this is the thing. Leading up to the pay-per-view, Bret Hart thought, okay,
like last
last minute changes. You know,
like
I'll lose
last minute.
Yeah. And I think it was like the day before. He had found out, okay, Hogan obviously Hogan is coming back, and you're going to lose the belt, but then Hogan's going to come out and get the belt, and then Brett is all like, really, what the heck? And he said it seems that it felt like Vince didn't have any faith in him anymore, in Brett. He said that Brett isn't a bigger star than he is. Exactly.
That's not the point of putting someone over. Like, that's...
It's essentially Hogan loving to be in the middle of the spotlight and being the center of attention.
It's better... You put it nicer than what I was going to say.
Look what he did in WCW.
Again, what you said was
look at
nicer than what I
WCW and
said.
look at TNA, center of attention.
I was going to say something about him not quite getting the business. So
that's how it was.
I don't know.
And I mean
that seems inaccurate because, again, he's been in it for so long, but at the same time, you look at the stuff he's been doing as of late, and
which story? Because I thought Brutus Beefcake was like defending Hogan. Because Hogan came to the Hogan came to the pay-per-view event with a black eye, and it was a real bad black eye, and people were all like, "Okay, what happened to Hogan? Did he get into a fight or something?" And his excuse was, him and Brutus Beefcake were like,
did this wrestler get into a fight or something? Sorry.
Hang on. Him and Brutus Beefcake were jet skiing, and I guess he lost control or something, fell into the water, and the jet ski hit him in the face. I'm sorry, if it hit you in the face that hard, you would have had like a broken bone, a broken nose. You would have had what happened with Beefcake. He had complete fracture of his orbital bone of his eye. It had to be surgically repaired. They had to put screws and, like, I guess, steel plates to reconstruct his face.
That sounds not
That's why
fun.
he was wearing a mask at WrestleMania 9, because he was trying to be protective of his face, making sure it doesn't get broken again. But here comes Hogan with a black eye, and everyone was all like, what happened? What happened? And everyone was all like, well, wait a minute. Him and Macho Man in real life had butted heads. Macho Man could have punched him. Like,
I'm still siding with Macho Man, though.
Yeah. He spilled
was...
some beans about Hogan. Oh, today? Really? Black Eye Hogan and Meltzer said Macho Man punched him. Yeah. For flirting with... Well, at that time, Elizabeth was... out of the picture, I think. I think her... about around the time WrestleMania 9 came around, Macho Man and Elizabeth had separated. And...
What did he do? Or what did he say?
I mean, we're hearing...
Tell us the beans.
Yeah, spill the beans, man. Handsome Grim on our YouTube chat saying that Beefcake is throwing Hogan under the bus. Now, I'm going to try to look into this. But this is interesting, because in that documentary...
I still want to know what the beans was. You know, just notice the fan isn't making that weird sound it makes sometimes. It's like that purple thing from Roblox or something.
A Beefcake told that their friendship ended where Hogan... That seems to be an ongoing thing there. We can't say it on our show, but it seems to be an ongoing thing there with Hogan.
Who else did he do that to?
It was a friend of his. It was a radio personality, Bubba the Love Sponge. Hogan did the... practically did the same thing, and there was a illicit tape out. This came out last year. Beefcake claiming that Hulk Hogan hit on his wife and said he liked to do something with certain cooking oil that I'm
Not able to say.
not going to be able to say here on this podcast
It's not
because
PG, not family friendly. We're trying to be family friendly on this show, so.
I mean, you look at a lot of what people have said about Hogan backstage.
It's one of those things where it kind of just adds up.
It really does, and now you've got. I believe that I remember hearing somewhere that Hulk Hogan had been telling lies or making things up, or he's got things kind of messed up as far as truths in his head. I mean, for example, the Benjamin Shelton thing.
Yes, my favorite wrestler.
He repeated saying that name incorrectly. It was Shelton Benjamin, but he got the names mixed up.
Benjamin Shelton.
There's a video out right now. MVP did.
Beltman Shelton.
Would you quit? Would you quit? There's a video out. MVP was putting out there about him and Shelton Benjamin were on a flight to Detroit for, I believe it was Collision or Dynamite, and he said, "Well, here I am on the flight, getting ready to go to Detroit. I got my best friend and partner Benjamin Shelton next to me." And immediately he's giving MVP the most dirtiest look. He goes, oh no, I don't want to get beat up. He was really
Because they hurt people, right?
Because they hurt people. He goes, oh, I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to get hurt. But yeah, there's been a lot of shade thrown at Hulk Hogan so many times, especially when he was in WCW. Also, Beefcake told that Jimmy Hart and Hogan had a business proposal where they had a business venture and Hogan promised him his cut, but when his business venture took off, they left Beefcake.
I wonder if we're going to see this happen again with his new wrestling promotion.
I honestly think that venture that him and Bischoff are doing.
Him and Bischoff are going to try to find a way to cut out that third guy.
I really think that thing is going to tank. I personally do.
Not before they can cut out the third guy.
You're talking about Izzy Martinez.
Yeah.
Izzy Martinez being the trainer of that group there. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Whether it's true or not, it really wouldn't surprise me hearing about that.
It's just one of those things, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta watch the document, or just at least the clip of when Bret Hart was talking about
disappointed.
The whole thing with Hulk Hogan and everything, and
I guess not even. I'm not even sure if you can call it disappointment at this point because it's almost expected.
It is. Most definitely is. All right. Well.
Can make a game show out of it, come to think of it. What did Hogan actually do?
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and work on, we're just going to get ready and head on out of here. But before we go, we would be remiss if we didn't tell you guys to be sure to check us out on our social media sites. You'll see them down below. Also, if you guys are wanting to join our Discord page, there is, I guess, the link site or whatever to the permalink or whatever to do it. Just type in on your phone, on your computer, wherever you're at. We'll leave it up here so you have time to kind of type it in or write it down and then type it in later. But we would appreciate if you guys join our Discord. We're going to be doing voting, Saturday night
Yeah.
after Collision for match of the week?
Usually starting like Saturday, stuff like that.
Okay. Chris, what all sort of things can they find on our Discord page?
You can also find links to our other stuff. We'll put out announcements there. Again, polls, suggestions for stuff we can talk about or look into for the show. As well as like a little community tab where you can talk with other people that are also on the server.
Of course.
Uh,
We got to come up with a name for our followers, our like a little nickname for them.
don't know.
We'll come up with something.
If they don't come up with one first.
Yeah, or if you guys want to drop it in the Discord, there you go. Drop it in the Discord.
Yep.
What
Let's
else?
see. Memes, wrestling memes, stuff like that.
Okay.
Remember PG?
Yeah, please. We want to try to keep it as PG as possible because we may have minors and everything, and we don't want to be getting mixed up with stuff like that.
Yeah. Let's see. Say you went to like a wrestling event or something. If you want to share pictures of it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If you guys go to a live event, we'd love to see pictures and hear what your guys' experience is. That way we could give that promotion props.
Yeah.
Also, now that you have written down this or put that in, we've got another one for you.
Assuming that you have put that in.
Yeah, I think we've given them enough time. We got another website. It is Cross Promo Podcast. What is it? Hyphen dash?
Hyphen or dash.
Whatever it is. Shop.fourthwall.com. That is our merch store. And we'll show it to you right now. We showed it yesterday. But this is our...
we showed it yesterday and we're showing it again today.
And then if you're like, wait a minute, I didn't get it. Website's right here. It's right up there.
We got a picture of it now.
Yes. But here's our site of our merch. We've definitely got some shirts. We got them in different colors here.
There's a guy wearing it.
I don't know why a guy's wearing it, and I don't know why they have that with the back towards away from us. Of course, we've got mouse pads. If you want a mouse pad with our drawing on it, or just with the logo, there's another mouse pad there. We got stickers.
I like that version of the logo.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, the microphone stands out.
Oh,
a
yeah.
bit more.
We also got sweatshirts. We've got hats. We got a trucker hat. We got a regular ball cap. More stickers here. We've got mugs. We've got little beanies. We got sweatshirts, more mugs, and more hats with different various logos. So by all means, you guys jump on that website if you guys are interested in the merch and everything. Again, it is Cross Promo Podcast shop.fourthwall.com. We definitely would love to get you guys on there. For me, Brett is a wrestler, Hogan is a clown. I will change my name from Handsome Grim to Hogan's #1 fan. Okay. See here. Oh, what else was there?
He's looking for buttons to press.
Yes, I am. Well, I guess, that would be essentially it. Definitely check out our Discord. Check out our store. We definitely would love you guys to get our merch. And if you do order and get the merch, send a picture of it to us or a video of you opening. We just like to get reactions from our fans getting our merch.
Turn it into an unboxing video.
Yeah, turn it into a YouTube unboxing video. Sure, go for it. We'd be happy to do that or see that. Also, you can still email us.
Oh, crosspromopod@gmail.com.
You heard it here. All right. Just kidding. See you next time. Okay. Okay, Handsome Grim, you take care of yourself. All right, guys. So, yeah, it's about that time. We're going to go ahead and head on out of here. Also, if you guys want to, if you guys don't have time or you missed our live show tonight or any other night, you could check us out with our audio. Just go anywhere where you can find your favorite podcasts. Apple, Amazon, Spotify, anywhere where you can get your podcast, we are there. You just have to search Cross Promo Wrestling Podcast, and hopefully you find us there. You just got to look for that logo. It's the same logo you would see that would be on our YouTube channel. And once again, we appreciate you guys coming in, stopping by, getting caught up with wrestling, and just sitting here talking. I'd like to give thanks, though, to the people that did come in. Of course, DJ Juggalo 420, Chicago 33, better known as Cubano, and, of course, Handsome Grim, and Junior RDZ04. We appreciate you guys stopping by and chatting with us and talking with us. As always, we always love to talk with any fellow wrestling fans. And until then, let me get this going here. If it'll work. What's going on here? Did it unplug my phone? I can't do outro music. No.
Technical difficulties.
There we go. Don't recall ever unplugging it, but oh well. Alrighty. So. There it goes. Okay, so. Again, we appreciate you guys stopping by. And definitely check out our socials. Check out our store. Message us. We'd like feedback from you guys. Until then, I'm Kevin.
I'm Chris. And
we gone. Son, I have to ask you a question, because you are my fortunate son. But have you ever seen the rain since you've been born on the bayou?
Not really, no. But I have heard about it through the grapevine.
Oh, well, I understand that. And then I've seen it looking out my back door.